All right, let's talk about something that is seriously changing the game for businesses right now: AI agents. And look, forget everything you think you know about simple automation. We are talking about a whole new digital workforce that can actually think, plan, and get complex stuff done for you. So let's dive in and break down what this really means for how we work. This quote from NVIDIA's CEO, it just hits the nail on the head. This isn't just about a new piece of software or a new tool. We're talking about a completely new kind of team member. And throughout this explainer, we're going to unpack what this new digital workforce really means for you and your industry. So here's what we're going to cover. First, what exactly is an AI agent? Then, where are they already making a real impact? After that, how do you even build one? What's the actual financial return you can expect? And finally, where is all of this crazy technology heading? Okay, let's start at the beginning. We've all dealt with chatbots, right? You ask a simple question, you get a simple answer. So what makes an AI agent so different? Well, it all comes down to a few core abilities that give them their power. It really boils down to four key things. See, an agent isn't just reacting. It has memory, so it learns from every conversation. It can plan, meaning it can take a big, messy goal and break it down into smaller, manageable steps. It uses reasoning to make smart decisions along the way. And this is the big one. It has tool use, so it can actually connect to and operate your other apps. So here's the main takeaway. We are moving way beyond rigid, rule-based bots that just follow a script. We're talking about dynamic, adaptive partners that act less like a machine and more like a super efficient collaborator. They really are digital teammates. Okay, so enough with the theory, right? How is this technology actually being used out in the real world right now? Let's look at a couple of places where it's making a huge difference, starting with healthcare. In healthcare, the numbers are just staggering. A whopping 92% of industry leaders now say automation is absolutely essential for them to function. And you can see why. They're dealing with staff shortages and crazy high costs, so they're relying on this tech to fill critical gaps and actually improve how they care for patients. And here's what that actually looks like. AI agents are becoming these personal digital health companions. They're sending smart reminders for medication, they're available 24/7 to help check symptoms, and keep people out of the ER if it's not a real emergency. And they can even help monitor someone's recovery after surgery. This is all about being proactive, not just reactive. Now let's jump over to the world of finance. Believe me, the numbers here are just as mind-blowing. With billions of dollars lost to fraud every single year, is it any surprise that 91% of US banks are now using AI to fight back? Think about it. In finance, these agents are like tireless security guards, working around the clock to spot suspicious transactions a human might totally miss. But it's not just defense. They're also becoming personal financial advisors, offering tips on your portfolio and making things like loan applications way faster and safer for all of us. So we've seen what these agents can do, which is pretty amazing. But how are they actually built? The world of agent building tools is exploding right now. So let's simplify things and look at the main options you have today. This is the big question for any business that's thinking about getting started. Do you need a whole team of expert coders, or is there an easier way in? Well, the answer really depends on two things: what skills your team has and how complex your project is. Generally speaking, you've got two main paths you can go down. On one side, you have the no-code builders. These are perfect for business users. You can literally just drag and drop to build and launch an agent without writing a single line of code. On the other side, you have developer frameworks. These are the heavy-duty toolkits for technical teams who need total control and want to customize every little detail. Let's put some real names to these categories so you can see what I mean. In the no-code world, you've got giants like Zapier, which is famous for connecting to basically everything, and platforms like Gumloop, which are fantastic for building visual workflows. For the developers, LangChain is kind of the gold standard. It's super reliable. And then a tool like N8N gives you absolute control if you're willing to host it yourself. This is all really cool technology, for sure. But for any business, it always comes down to one simple question. What's the return on investment? What's the ROI? So let's unpack the real, tangible value that AI agents are delivering. Get this. Within the first year, organizations are typically seeing a return of 3 to 6 times what they put in. Think about that for a second. For every single dollar spent getting an AI agent up and running, they're getting between $3 and $6 back in real value. That's just an incredible number for any new tech. But here's the real kicker. That value isn't a one-and-done deal. It actually compounds. It grows over time. Why? Because the agents are always learning from new data and new interactions, so they get smarter and more efficient. So that dollar you invested today might get you 360 back in year 1, but by year 5, that same dollar could be generating $12 in value. It just keeps growing. And if you need more proof, check out this forecast from Gartner. They're predicting that this kind of AI will slash operational costs for customer service teams by 30%. That is a huge saving that goes straight to the bottom line. So, how do you actually get that incredible ROI? Well, it's not magic. It's about having a solid plan. You start by finding the areas where an agent could make the biggest splash. You measure where you are now so you can prove the improvement later. Then you launch a small pilot project. From there, it's all about training your team, watching the performance, and then planning how to roll out your success across the whole company. All right, we've covered what agents are, how they're being used, and the value they're creating. So for our last section, let's pull out the crystal ball a little bit. What's the next big step for this digital workforce? The next frontier is something called multimodal agents. Now, that's just a fancy way of saying they won't just understand text anymore. They're going to be able to see, hear, and speak, and they'll weave all of that into a single workflow. Just imagine an agent that can watch a product demo video and then write a support article about it, or listen to a customer service call and update all the records in real time. This isn't just about automating tasks anymore. It's about reinventing entire jobs. And that's where we'll leave it. The technology is here. The tools are getting more accessible every single day. And the value, well, it's been proven. Your new digital workforce is ready to clock in. So the only real question left is, what's the first big thing you're going to have it do?